So obviously, first initial reaction to the federal budget. What's top of mind for you?
Well, there's certainly some good news for small businesses in the new budget. A few areas of concern and a couple of big misses. On the positive side, probably the biggest news for my members, small and medium-sized companies, was some relief on credit card processing fees. This followed up on some measures, Tony, that your government took years ago. But we've seen now another round of progress on this, specifically targeted at small and medium-sized businesses. The government is proposing a new deal with Visa and MasterCard that would lower these fees when you swipe a card or chip a card in a local business. That those fees would drop by about up to 27%, specifically for small businesses, and that would be a big win. It hasn't happened yet. There's still some deal making to do, but it looks like the construct of a deal has happened, and that's welcome.
Yeah, so just to stay on that just for 1 second. So did the federal government have negotiations or talks with Visa and MasterCard with the bank cards and say, hey, look, this is the direction we want to go. Let's make it work?
You got it. In fact, in the fall economic statement, the Deputy Prime Minister put forward two ideas. One, that she would enter into regulation to cap these fees in some fashion unless a deal could be brokered. Actually, that's similar to an approach that Jim Flaherty used years ago, which was putting in place suggestions for a voluntary undertaking. But if that didn't happen, then he proposed making it involuntary. The good news is that small firms would be the net beneficiary of this. Visa and MasterCard, it looks like, have agreed to lower fees. We don't have detail, though, as to what types of businesses would receive this benefit and how quickly it would happen. So we're hoping in the coming days to learn more.
Continue with your assessment of the budget. What else is top of mind for you?
Well, sticking on the positives, one of the big files that we always watch is what's happening on the tax front. On the payroll tax side, we have seen many years of Canada Pension Plan premium increases, and last year there was an increase in EI premiums as well, employment insurance premiums. Those take a big bite for small business owners because they're profit insensitive. You have to pay them whether you're making money or not. There was a projection in last year's budget that EI rates would rise again in 2024. And with the strong labor market that we're facing and lighter EI demand, it looks like we may be able to avoid a further increase in EI premiums at the start of next year. That would sure be good news if it comes to be. The final decision will be made this fall. The other one that we were watching, of course, is some of the automatic escalation in taxes. There were two that were proposed for April the 1st. One was on the excise taxes on alcohol, on beer, wine, and spirits. That was to rise between 6 and 7% because of inflationary pressures with an automatic escalator. The government has capped that for this year, 1 year only, at 2%. So taxes on alcoholic drinks will rise, but not by as much as was anticipated. Certainly welcome to the producers of those products, as well as restaurants and the hospitality industry that serve and sell them.
I know they were lobbying hard on that one for sure.
They sure were, and we have many members in those sectors, and we're certainly calling for that as well. On the flip side, though, the other tax increase that is planned for April the 1st is going ahead, and that is the carbon backstop. The carbon tax is expected to rise quite dramatically on April the 1st. We had called on the Liberal government to freeze that at minimum, but that hasn't happened. So 8 provinces will see automatically their carbon backstop, as it's imposed by the federal government, will see their carbon taxes rise. And this is a really unfair tax for small businesses. Right. We have businesses on either side of that equation. Some like the idea of carbon taxation, some do not. But even those that like the idea, those businesses agree that the way that the government is doing is deeply unfair. The rebates that consumers get, they're largely unavailable to the businesses. They just have to pay them.
We're going to take a brief break.